Hey, welcome to this short video on how to get started with the AI assistants on Conversifi. So the AI assistants are the things that are going to be handling all of your conversations and booking your sales appointments on complete autopilot. So to do this, we need to train the assistant so that it knows everything about our business. And we also need to refine it so that we know that it's going to represent us exactly how we want it to. So how we do that is we simply go to the AI Assistants tab inside your Conversifi dashboard and then go to Create New Assistant. Now you'll be presented with two options, either Sales and Business Development, which is the most popular one for booking sales appointments, or Recruitment and Talent Acquisition if you are looking to find some new team members or maybe you're recruiting for another company. Now, I'm going to hit Get Started with Sales for this example. Once you hit that, it's going to take you to a live chat with your AI assistant where you're going to be giving it all of the context and information around your company. Now, one very important thing to note is that the more detailed you are in your responses, the better the AI is going to perform. If you just give one-word responses throughout the whole thing, don't expect the AI to know everything about your business. The more context you give it, the better. So I'm going to go ahead now and fill in this to the best of my ability and create my AI assistant. So now that I've answered the majority of the questions in as much detail as possible, one thing I want to note is that I've just done this straight away, kind of rushed for this video. I would encourage you to even use the help of ChatGPT or Claude to help you build out these responses in as much detail as possible. Now, at this point, it's asking us to choose the tone that we want to use for our AI assistant. So we have professional, conversational, or casual. Professional is for the very polished, formal messages, typically in industries that are regulated or maybe financial services, etc. Conversational is a bit more natural, but still very professional. And casual is relaxed and friendly, so great for startups, creative agencies, younger type audiences. So I use casual just because for me, it's the most natural and sounds most like how I speak. Next, it's going to ask for my calendar link. So if I have a link such as a Calendly link or cal.io, anything that I use to send people to a calendar to book an appointment with me, that is the link we need so that the AI can actually send that to prospects when they are interested to book a call with you. Now it's asking for my website so that if someone wants some more information or context around what you're offering, or they just want to see your website, the AI can share that with them. And now it's asking who takes the sales calls for my business, because not every business, the owner or the person doing the outreach is the same person who's taking the sales calls. So in this case, I'm going to choose me, but if it's not you taking the calls, you would choose someone else and put their name. So now you can see the AI assistant is being created. It's taking all of that information that I've given it and it's tailoring it to an already world-class AI appointment setter. And now the AI assistant has been created. The next step, once our AI assistant has been created, is to test the AI assistant so that we know that it is reliable enough to actually hold conversations for us. So how we do that is we simply go to the sandbox area on the left menu. Now that we're in the sandbox area, we simply want to click on the assistant that we just created. And there's a left side and a right side. On the left side is prospect settings. So these are basically dummy settings that you're using as an example prospect with an example opening message to give it some context. And then on the right side is a chat box. So we're actually going to have a conversation with the AI to see how it would respond in real time. So I can use this is information is fine for me, or I can randomize. And for the opening message, I will say something like, hey, it's nice to connect. I wanted to introduce you to Conversifi. It helps you automate LinkedIn outreach with AI sales agents. Let me know if you're open to learning more about it. So nice and short, nice and straight to the point. So if I received this message, or I'm just trying to imagine myself as a prospect receiving this outreach message, what would I respond? Probably something like, hey, nice to connect. Sure, it sounds interesting. Send me some more information on how it works. And now I can see exactly how my AI would respond to that message. So we can see here, I provide AI assistants that manage your entire outreach. Unlike other tools, they handle everything from the first message to booking the call on your calendar by responding to prospects naturally. Are you open for a way to get more consistent sales opportunities without the manual grind? perfect for me. It pushes the conversation forward with a question, but it also gives relevant enough context to actually push that conversation forward. So now I've given my intent, I've shown that I'm open to learning more. So it's pretty much straight to the point just for the sake of this video. I can ask it a few objections if I want to sort of test it a bit more. But we can see here that it's acknowledged that, and now it's suggesting that we actually jump on a quick call. So here I'm just going to throw in a little objection just to see if it can handle it. Before I book in, what makes you different from every other tool out there? There's loads. So now we can see that it's handled that objection perfectly, and it's still pushed the conversation forward to get that call booked. So sure, I'm free this week. And now you can see that it's sent over the calendar link. Now this obviously just says calendly.com because that's what I put in the creation of the AI. You would put your own calendar link, of course, and then we can see that it's perfectly sent that message. I can then, as a prospect, now click that link, go and book in for the sales call. And all of this is done automatically through the AI agent. I'm not having to do anything personally. Now, let's say something happened with the AI in the conversation that you weren't too keen on. Maybe it answered this question in the wrong way. We wanted it to say a bit more, or maybe it rushed to the call a bit too quickly. We wanted it to ask a qualifying question before booking the call to make sure we're not wasting any time with unqualified prospect. Well, all we need to do if we want to edit the AI and train it more is go back to AI assistants, find the AI assistant that you just made and click edit. And again, it's in a simple chat format. So you can simply speak to the AI and tell it exactly what you'd want to change. So in this instance, I might say, always ask 2 qualifying questions before booking in the call. And now we can see that it has updated on its final rules and moving to the call rules to ensure that the assistant always asks 2 qualifying questions before suggesting a call. And if we need to change our calendar link, we can do so here. If we need to change our website, we can also do so here. And this here is a maximum word count. So we always recommend keeping maximum word count at 50 words. Any longer is a bit too much for people to read. Think of LinkedIn more of a messaging platform rather than like a long email thread. So it's nice to keep responses short and sweet. Now, if you wanted to dive a bit deeper under the hood with the AI, you can turn on these sections here, and you can actually see different sections of the prompt behind the AI. So you can actually come here and adjust certain things, such as objection handling, which is a common one. We can see that most of the objections are in here. For example, I tried similar tools and they didn't work. And then this is how it would handle that specific objection. You can come here and you can add multiple objections that you commonly find around your business, and you can give exactly how you would answer that. You could also come here and adjust the current ones to make sure that they sound exactly how you would answer those questions. And then once you've actually made all your changes and you're happy with them, you would simply just hit save changes. So I'll just hit save changes there. And now we have our AI assistant. What we would probably want to do is go back to the sandbox area, test it again, just to make sure those changes are in effect, making sure that you're super happy with it, play around with it a bit more. And then once you are happy, you are ready to now add it in a campaign. And now you have an AI assistant that is effectively your full-time SDR that never sleeps, never takes breaks, and it's always representing you perfectly and never making mistakes. And whenever it does make a slight mistake, if it does, then you simply edit it and train it a bit more, and then it will never make that same mistake again. It is the perfect outreach employee. So I hope you found this video useful. Let's get started and make your AI assistant.